I do want to say, man, I think that the best song I heard today, new song I heard today, was
Go
from
ahead.
Joey Badass.
I agree.
And I want to give Joey his props because I know we all been following Joey since he was in high school, man.
Has it
And
been?
to actually see an MC kind of like grow like right in front of your eyes and develop as a dope MC I think he's a really good songwriter now. That's what I got from Head High. After hearing Head High today, first of all, I love the pairing with him and Static Selector. I think Static Selector is another producer who doesn't get as much props as he should because he's super consistent. Everything Static Selector for the most part puts together is quality production. It reminds me of like, I mean, he doesn't sound like Ninth Wonder, but you know how it was when Ninth Wonder was clicking. It was like anything you knew you were gonna get from Ninth Wonder, you knew it was gonna be consistent.
Three.
And so I love the pairing with him and Joey Badass or Joey Badass and Static Selector. But Joey Badass's hook game is on 10 right now, at least with this song. It's reflective. I love the perspective. I love everything about this song. And I think that this song or a song like this gets me excited to hear a new Joey Badass album. That's the album that I think that we can end up. I think that could be a sleeper in the year. I'll say that. And I think that could possibly be an album of the year contender if it sounds anything like this Head High song.
Okay, so here's what my thought was after hearing the song too. I was like, well, if he keeps it up and he makes an album like this is how somebody comes and steals album of the year in a heavy year where you expect the heavy hitter to make the album of the year.
He could
So
do it, man.
yeah, he can do it.
He
And so
could
people
do
need
it.
to be looking out for Joey right now. I'm excited for him. This record made me excited for him because it was the type of record that made me say, oh, he's arrived and he's capable of making album of the year.
I put it on repeat, man. And the thing is, originally, like I have this thing about I love when people like Joey, even what's his name, Astro Kid, thought he was super dope at a very young age, and even Corday, you could tell that they're really '90s influence.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah, yeah.
thing is, the tough part of it in their generation is kind of difficult to make that your own because you're trying to sell your generation on a previous generation. And I feel like this song doesn't sound like any of that. This just sounds like Joey Badass made a dope record. It doesn't sound like this should fit in the '90s. It don't sound like it just sounds like a dope record. And I know we've spoken on similar things when it comes to Big Crit. I feel like Joey has found his sound, or at least I hope he has. And yeah, I'm excited for him, and I'm excited for the upcoming album. I'm looking forward to hearing more from Joey. I started thinking about his appearance on Pray for Paris. I'm like, yeah, man, Joey's ready, man. He did the
He been
hook
doing
on
stuff for a
that.
minute. The stuff that he did on the Static album with Nas.
Yeah,
Yeah, he been. I mean, we've been talking about him like low key. You and me, Mike. I mean, we've had probably more low key conversations about Joey behind the scenes the last couple of years than anybody. Every time we talk about him, we end up going into places where it's like, yo, I really like this guy. I really enjoy what he's doing. I like the way that he's doing it. I like that he's moving at his own pace. Every time I hear him, it's something solid. I hear the growth. I hear the development. And
and
I was
his
genuinely
acting career too. I'm like, man, I think Joey's a star, man.
right. That's what I mean. I'm genuinely excited for him. This was a dope record. I enjoyed it too, Mike.
And something you said offline, I think this is a great time for him too. Like this is a great time for him to
The
drop some of
climate for
his
him, yes.
seminal. Yeah, like the
Because you want
climate
to
right
know,
now
he
is open for him to drop his seminal album.
well, he fits so many bills right now because guess what? Joey is a really dope MC, so he fits the MC's climate right now.
Right.
He's a dope MC. We just heard him. That's why I was referencing the Static Select record with Nas. It's like, no, he can go back and forth with Nas like
He's
right now.
proven that he can rhyme with anybody.
Joey can rhyme, so he fits in the rhymers climate.
Yeah.
But he also fits in the younger generations and cooler climate as well. And he's versatile like that, where it's like, well, he fits in the younger climate, he fits in the lyrical climate, and he kind of fits in that finding my own niche in this kind of like Vince Staple is kind of right now too,
Mm-hmm.
kind of climate. He checks a lot of marks. He checks a lot of boxes. You know what I'm saying? So I just want him to hit his mark.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I'm
excited for
excited.
the new album so we can talk about him more because I think that he deserves more conversation, but we need that one seminal piece of work. I see Sci High being mentioned in the comments.
As far as
Um,
what?
he said, Damian Harris says Sci High is the best lyricist from the South. I like Sci High a lot. I remember, again, I don't want to sit here and be name dropping or whatnot, but again, back in my time in radio, one of my good friends who was interning with me back then, Tech, I went over to their dorm and he was going to Clark Atlanta at the time, and these guys had a whole production setup. Like they used their refund money from college to get studio equipment, and these guys had beats, man. And we just never really got a chance to work together in the way that we wanted to. But I've always followed what they were doing, and so I saw that Sci was dropping. What was it? Black History. Um,
Mhm.
what was it called? The Black History Project. And I remember Kanye was the executive producer, and then I saw Tech had produced a lot of stuff on there. So I was like, I'm gonna check this out, just because the homies on there, whatever.
Right.
Great project, and I
Mhm.
think that's one of the more slept on projects. Period. I know people like what is it? No Dope on Sundays. I like that
Mhm.
project too, but Black History's the one. He had some great records on that shit. I was just listening to Be Great the other day. I can only
But
find it on SoundCloud. Where he
what
starts off
say?
with that Tupac clip.
Mhm.
That shit is hard, bro. Like I used to start my mornings off with that.
But what say you about the sentiment that says he's the best lyricist?
I understand the sentiment because he's more of
Say
a
Atlanta or South?
they said the South. I think that his approach to putting together rhymes is not an approach that many Southern MCs take on. So
That's
if
exactly
you're
what I was about
somebody
to
who,
say.
so if you're
He's more of
somebody
an East
who's
Coast
looking
lyricist,
for,
wouldn't you say?
well, I wasn't even gonna say East Coast lyricists, but if you're one of those people who, look for lyricism like a crooked eye type of approach,
Hmm.
because I would say that Saha is more of a crooked eye for the South,
I think
like
he's better
crooked
than
eye
Crooked Eye.
is for the West.
I think he's better than Crooked Eye.
Whew,
Is
I don't
that
know about
regional
that,
bias?
man.
Is that regional bias
I don't
coming
know,
in?
man. Crooked Eye is tough. I remember seeing Crooked
I don't
Eye,
know.
and
I'm asking questions because it's like I'm asking if that's
I like
regional bias.
Saha's music better.
Okay, me too.
But
You
as a
think Crooked's a
straight up
better MC?
lyricist,
You think Crooked's a better MC? Ooh,
I've heard
okay.
Crooked Eye go crazy. But I think
I
that's a good
done heard
pairing
Crooked
though.
go crazy. No, I done heard Crooked I go crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. But I wish we could get more Sci-Hi projects.
I
I
don't think
think
either one
that
of them are better than Andre or CeeLo, but I mean,
again that I think that delves into that whole okay, we need diverse content or we need diverse
no,
subject
they said
matter.
lyricist. No, they said lyricist. You said Sci is the best lyricist.
We just talking about putting words together, but see that's part of lyricism though, because we always hear that too when people talk about Tupac saying he wasn't a
But it gotta
lyricist.
stay. Yeah, hold on. So can I say something right quick? I
Go
don't mean
ahead.
to cut you off, Mike, but it gotta stay with you when you spit that shit too.
Exactly, that's a
It
part
means
of
nothing
lyricism.
if it means nothing if it's super lyrical if it don't stay. Like that's why CeeLo's verse on "Get Up, Get Out" is so important and so impactful. It's not super lyrical. It's probably not even one of his 20 most lyrical verses. But the
It
way he
sticks
put
with
it,
you.
I don't recall ever graduating at all. Sometimes I feel like I'm just a disappointment to y'all.
Yeah,
That's it's different.
it's
It's
different.
with you. It got rhyme of the month in the
It's
source
a
too.
great verse. I mean, I've heard
So Saha don't be having that. And so when you're saying that he's the best lyricist, it's like, nah, it gotta stay with you,
he might
fam.
be the best rapidy rap rapper in the
Like
South.
that. So there we go with this technical rhyming stuff again.
I mean,
Is that what
I
you're
think
saying?
that's where people are coming from when they say that.
Right. But okay, so how about this? Technically, he sounds better than Kanye, Pusha T, and Jay-Z on So Appalled, but all of them have way more memorable moments than him on there.
Shout out to Jordan House for the super chat. He said, "Have y'all heard the December remix by Silk Money featuring Andre? If so, what do y'all think of that verse?
Is
Have
that
not. Andre Benjamin, Andre 3000. What do you
so?
think of it, Jordan House? We're gonna take a listen to it.
What did he? He did a verse on Silk Sonic.
I guess
Who
so.
is
Hold
that? Is
on.
that the
No,
Anderson
no,
Paak
was it? No, it's a
Mars?
remix, right? Is it
What he doing?
Silk Money?
Is that one of Big Boy's song on Big Boy's album?
Oh my goodness, we're not gonna go there, are we? Man Nan with the super chat. He says Snoop
I don't
does
want
have
to
a
hear.
primo track, and one only in
No,
2002's "Paid the Cost to Be the Boss."
no,
Keep
I know
doing what
that. No,
y'all
I was
doing. I love
saying
the show.
before that happened, the first time is actually on Jermaine Dupri's album, Life in 1472.
That's true. I forgot the primo did that. Whenever I hear
That's
that
actually
song,
the first time. So like, if we're gonna talk it, like let's
I
actually,
listen. I love Snoop's verse on there. The
it's
job
great.
was
No, that was the
dangerous
first
when
time I
I
heard
took.
that we had heard it. But what I'm saying is, we've been asking for that moment. It's like, oh, it's Primo and Snoop. It's like, oh, how's that gonna sound?
But yeah,
And it
man,
came from JD.
I'm looking forward to Joey Badass and what he's about to bring with this next coming album. Hopefully, it doesn't take too long. I know he has a great acting career that's going on, and usually that takes away from the music, but he sounds like he's still very deep in the music and has a whole lot to prove in the music, and I think that's going to be great for hip hop.